Koiki Media bring the world closer to your doorstep. Today being Saturday, October 14, 2023. One of the articles being released by Saturday Sun newspaper, which stated, Yoruba nation agitation won't end because Tinubu is the president. Sunday Igboho's allies. Yoruba nation agitation won't end because Tinubu is the president. Sunday Igboho's ally. The articles. An ally of the recent released Yoruba nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, otherwise known as Igboho, Dr. Tunde Amsat has insisted that agitation for self-determination by Igboho and his allies will not be prosecuted just because a Yoruba man, Bola Tinubu, emerged Nigerian president. Amsat spoke in an interview with Saturday's Sun on Saturday. For the past few years, the Yoruba people in the southwest of Nigeria have had to deal with insecurity and violence perpetrated by different groups. The insecurity ranged from kidnapping, mainly by suspected Fulani bandits, to courtesan and thief by Yoruba people themselves, which created a general sense of unease and instability in Yoruba land for a long time. The quest for stoppage of insistence, kidnapping, killing, destruction of farmlands, and raping of women by herdsmen gave rise to the Yoruba nation agitators. Chief Sunday Adeyemo fondly called Igboho. It was when the vices wanted to overcome the people of Igangan in Ibarapa zone of Oyo State. Igboho met the calibers of people like Prof. Banji Akitoye of Ilana Omo Odua worldwide, and Iba Gani Adams, the Are Ona Kakanfo of Yoruba land, in the struggle for the liberation of Yoruba race. Adams stated that his own agitation in the Odua's People Congress, OPC, following the annulment of June 12, 1993 president poll, presumed to have been won by Chief MKO Abiola. However, Igboho House was violently attacked in Ibadan twice. The second attack led to the death of some people. He also escaped being arrested or killed in Nigeria. He was arrested at the Cotonou International Airport in Benin Republic on his way to Germany, taken to court, and was subsequently placed in protective custody in Cotonou. But he was released by President of Benin Republic, Patrick Talon, some of days ago. Igboho has since traveled to Germany to be with his family, but he said he won't come back to Nigeria. He will come back to Nigeria soon. However, Saturday's Sun spoke with Iba Gani Adams, the Are Ona Kakanfo of Yoruba land, and Dr. Tunde Amsat, one of the leaders of Ilana Omo Odua worldwide, which is the apex Yoruba self-determination group, on the relevancy of the struggle, security in Yoruba land, what Igboho's freedoms meant to the struggle for the self-determination, and lessons for Igboho and other agitators as well as the government. According to Iba Gani Adams, the past few months have seen a reduction in security thanks to a change in power and newly found political will to punish offenders. He noted that the only security threat now is from the Middle Belt, where bandits are overrunning some of the villagers, as well as insecurity in Zamfara. He added that Yoruba people themselves have to work on internal security issues caused by courtesan, kidnapping, and theft. These issues stem from rivalries between and among different court groups, which have been killing members of rivals groups, leading to the murders of future leaders. Adams stressed for the need to focus on solving these issues. He stated further that despite the reduction in security. The Yoruba people agitation for self-determination remains as relevant now as it was before. Adams believed that the struggle cannot die and shouldn't insisting on the need for true federalism or restructuring. This restructuring should include more power being devolved to the federating units to allow for the regional government like those of Chief Obafemi Awolowo's days, he said. According to him, these forms of government will allow each region to be held accountability for issues like education and will reduce the burden on the federal government. Adams added that the release of Sunday Igboho from detention in Benin Republic is a welcome development, saying anyone who has fought for freedom at some point will experience captivity, and that is an opportunity to learn and understand oneself and others. However, he doesn't believe he is in position to speak on what lesson Igboho took away from the experience. Under the leadership, he said Yoruba self-determination struggle has two primary organizations, including the social cultural organization Odua Progressive Union (OPC) and the freedom fighter group Yoruba One Voice (YOV). Adams noted that the latter group has 98% of its members as intellectuals who are agitating for self-determination or restructuring. He emphasized that the group advocates diplomacy and peace and is not violent in its approach. The release of Sunday Igboho in Benin Republic is a welcome development. When you are put in captivity, freedom will come one day. It is common saying among freedom fighters that anyone who has not gone to captivity among us must probably be an agent of the state. I was detained for 8 months. It was when I was in the prison that I got to know those who were loyal to me and those that were not, that were most. When I came back from prison, I sacked a number of them. Even the remaining ones, they were inflated. They still inflated. So my prison experience taught me how to do things in different way, how to be constructive in doing things, how to understand people more, ways of life, and so on. But I cannot say anything about the lesson for Igboho on the struggle. He's in best position to say that when you interview him, he will tell you by himself. Then we have two organizations agitating for liberation of Yoruba race. The first one is Odua Progressive Union (OPU), and the second one is Yoruba One Voice. The OPU is social cultural organization, while YOV is freedom fighters. The YOV has 98% of membership and intellectual agitating for self-determination or restructuring. We have been adopting diplomacy in our approach. We were not violent. We are a peaceful organization. It must place on record that Yoruba people are not violent. It is in their character to be violent. They are very organized, but they are very wise. If you want to fight for Yoruba, you have to use your brain and don't attempt to overshine them. If you do that, you will create more enemies. In the same vein, Dr. Tunde Amzat, one of the leaders of the Yoruba self-determination movement in Ilana Omo Odua, believed that the struggle for self-determination would continue even with a Yoruba president in power. He cited the legality of self-determination and the recognition of its legitimacy by the United Nations Charter, and that Nigeria is a signatory to the Charter. He will mention Charter. Nigeria is a signatory to the Charter. He will mention that while kidnapping has been a problem, it is not a crime unique to one ethnic group. He stated, the Yoruba self-determination movement under the leadership of Prof. Banji Akintoye gives kudos to President Patrick Talon of Benin Republic for releasing Igboho unconditionally. One of the lessons for Igbohos and other agitators, he said, if don't have such for Igboho, he said, I don't have such for Igboho, but the establishment, especially the military and paramilitary, they should learn that you cannot conceal people asking for self-determination into this silence. You recall that Sunday Igboho escaped death by the whiskers. Some people were killed in his house in Ibadan, and his house was vandalized. Amsat continued. The struggle for self-determination for Yoruba race is still very much alive. It is not dead. I must say that the struggle will continue, whether Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, or Fulani man is the president of Nigeria. The self-determination is not a crime. It's not illegal. It is legitimate. It's recognized by the United Nations Charter, in which Nigeria is a signatory. So Yoruba's struggle for liberation is a legitimate cause. Therefore, it is good news that Igboho has been released. He is not criminal. He has not committed any crime. People must also know that the struggle for self-determination for Yoruba race is still relevant today. In the past, we did not take up arms in persecuting the struggle. We are a peaceful people, and we are going about the struggle peacefully. On insecurity in Southwest, it has really abated. Tough. We still have pockets of kidnappers, armed robbery, and so on. But kidnapping is not a passive of one ethnic group. So Southwest is relatively peaceful. It is not in our character to take up arms against the federal government. The Yoruba self-determination movement. The Yoruba self-determination movement relevance remain as valid as it did before the pandemic. The people are advocating before the pandemic. The Yoruba self-determination movement. I take it again. The Yoruba self-determination movement relevance remain as valid as it did before the pandemic. The people are advocating a Nigeria where regions can take charge of their affairs, deliver important public goods, and held accountability for their actions. Koiki Media bring the world closer to your doorstep. This is the article being published today, October 14, 2023, by Saturday Sun newspaper. Thank you so much.